Hey, what's going on? Coaching Success Radio. Today, I want to talk about overcoming obstacles in your path, how to do it, how to think about doing it, how to actually get the results you want. I don't care if these are obstacles in your path of growing your business, obstacles that are slowing you down from having a better relationship with your family, during your business time, during the COVID time. I don't care what the obstacle is. I'm going to give you some clear strategies and some stories about how to overcome those obstacles and actually start seeing results, even if you're struggling.
As I build my coaching business, I want to know how to effectively serve clients and make more money doing it. This podcast will pull back the curtain to reveal exactly how successful coaches are building their empires. Join me as I engage with top coaches from all over the world to discover their secrets. No theatrics and no theory, just real life strategy. My name is William Winterton, and this is Coaching Success Radio.
Okay, so right now we're still in the middle of COVID-19, and in fact, I'm going to keep saying that for a while, probably. In fact, probably should stop because we're going to be in here for a while dealing with this. This is kind of changed everything. It's not that things are changing, it's that things have changed, right? The dynamic has changed. Online world is now a necessity. It is not a possibility like, well, maybe we should go ahead and get something going online, right? Everybody's jumping online now more than ever because you have no other choice. If you are a business and you want to make money, you've got to have an online presence right now, or else you're broke. You have nothing. You got to wait for the government to give you something. So how do you actually overcome obstacles like this? And how do you actually get past situations like this? I want to tell you a quick story. I am with a group that is called, it's a children's theater company here in town. And I've been working with them for about 5 or 6 years now, doing a lot of volunteer work with them. I've written a number of shows for them, some music, do a lot of directing with the music program. My kids have both gone through the program. It is geared for children who are elementary school ages, right? So that you have something to do theater and music-wise before you get into high school. Generally speaking, there's a lot of programs that are out there for high school theater stuff, but not a whole lot of stuff, not nearly as much, let's say, for youth community theater. The interesting thing about our program is that the show, it comes up at the end of the year. So every year, like the very last weekend of May or the first couple weekends of June, we do a show. And what happens is you spend all year, you start in August, and we go all year through May rehearsing and learning and doing all the pieces of building a show and creating a show with these children just to produce the final product in June. Or end of May, early June. And that's how we've been doing it. It's been, I think this is the 15th year that this business has been around. Doing this, I've been a part of it for about 6 years now. My children have been a little bit longer before I came on board. Now, the problem is this. We have a COVID-19 pandemic. You cannot go outside. You much less can fill up a theater full of people and have them sit row to row and try and put on a show and try and have some kind of a live performance right now. Concerts, everything's canceled, right? Everybody's canceled. They're canceling graduations, they're canceling. I mean, the whole world is just shut down. It will slowly start to reopen, and it might reopen by June. It might all be up and running again. But we're at a point where there's just like, if you're planning on an event that was supposed to happen in May or June or even July, even this summer, it's really unlikely that that's going to go through because so many venues are going to be very, very cautious about actually hosting an event in the midst of all this stuff and just coming out of this, right? Who wants to be that first building that opens up and opens its doors? Yeah, come on in, pour in here, and then have something happen. Nobody wants that liability. So we took action, and I think about a week before everything really just went haywire with the COVID-19, we actually shut down, didn't have a rehearsal that week, and we got together and we started thinking about what we could do. And our director, her name is Jen, and her husband, I've talked about him a number of times. He's a coach for a girls' college basketball team. Great family here in town. And Jen is just kind of this live wire, very, very talented entrepreneur. And got her team together, including myself and about 15 others of us who are doing everything from teaching music to dance to acting ability to just hanging out with kids and just actually helping them nurture and get their leadership skills up, get their communication skills up, get their fear of public speaking, pushed past all that stuff because you're dealing with a pretty wide age group. Got all together onto a Zoom meeting. This is before we really knew exactly what we were doing, how to navigate this. And Jen was just like, we've got to keep this program going. Got to get the show going somehow. We're going to not give up. I don't care what it's going to take. We're going to do some kind of a show. So we put our heads together. We're trying to figure out how to actually do a show with 85 children, all right, that are used to a live theater production. How are we going to pull this thing off in the midst of all the stuff that's happening. And this is as things were unfolding. We had no answers, right? We didn't know how long it was going to take. We didn't know if this was going to pass by in a week or 2 weeks or 2 months or 2 years or whatever. Had no idea. All we knew is that we wanted to keep the show going. So we started talking, we started brainstorming these ideas, and we had things that, can we postpone it? Can we have it happen next year? Well, no, because we want to have a new season of people. And once the kids graduate from 8th grade, we want to give them a chance to go into high school and experience that and, get out of our program. So we're like, no, we don't want to postpone it. We're going back and forth, and we just basically said, the only way we can do this is virtually. The only way we can actually do this, and the only thing we can guarantee is that kids will be in their house. So let's have a virtual performance somehow. And we started figuring out, got a hold of some videographers who were with our group, and started figuring out how we can create this and actually build a video of the performance. So our musical that we were planning on performing live in June is now going to be a video performance that will be put together by the end of June. And it's a very big task, right? Remember, we have 85 children, and we used to do, live meetings every single week, just 3 hours a week, which is why it took a whole year. But again, the idea behind it is really just helping the kids to overcome all these other obstacles in the way of life, and help them overcome their shyness and overcome their, self-doubts and stuff, and really support and encourage each other. And then we get to do a show. Well, we did all the other stuff. We get them all, psyched up and ready for confidence and ready for success, but then didn't have a show to deliver. So we decided to go online. Let's push this online. Let's create a video. So we're in the middle of that right now. And it's insane. If you've ever tried to get 85 children to get their camera the right way, stand in the frame the right way, get the lighting well, have the parents, help them do this and get their lines memorized. We have to record video and audio separately so that we can mix the audio in. I mean, it's a technological nightmare. But the result is going to be incredible. And the idea behind this was, what is it that we can accomplish? What are the things we can control? Right? That was the first major key of this. The first thing that we could control is that we still had all the kids who were on board, like, let's do something, right? We still had communication, right? We still had Zoom meetings every week to try and figure out how to stay in touch. So we know we can control their ability to be around, to rehearse, to still practice things. There are things that we cannot do, right? We aren't going to be on a live stage. We're going to not be able to do full choreography, where you're going to be able to see 85 kids on a screen at once, a full body dancing and moving. It's just not going to happen, right? You're going to be little tiny specks on the screen. So we've got to overcome that. We've got to overcome a lot of other, obstacles. How are kids going to interact with each other? How are they going to, if one kid has to hand something to some other kid for a prop, how do you do that? And all these other new questions that come up. But we also saw this as an opportunity. Because not only are we teaching kids now how to do something that's basically putting together like a little mini movie, right? Something that's already recorded that they can actually sit down and enjoy with their family instead of performing it live. We're teaching them that, look, you can overcome challenges. Life is going to continuously throw obstacles and challenges in your face, all right? Constantly. So the only options you have are either, okay, I can look at this roadblock and say, I can't do it. Put your hands up and say, this isn't going to work. Or your option is to say, okay, challenge, all right, can't do that. What can I do? What are the options that I can solve, right? And you just have to keep moving forward. If you want it bad enough, you will figure out how to do it. And if you want it not so bad and you're like, it's not a big deal, then you'll come up with an excuse, right? That's a Jim Rohn thing that is powerful, powerful quote. If you want something bad enough, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. And that's exactly what happened. We started looking at this and said, is there a way? Is it possible to put this together? Now, why did I tell you this whole story? It's because there's so much right now going on in the coaching world. So many people are coming online. So many people are starting to fill this coaching kind of, I guess the coaching world, coaching niche is starting to get filled, I guess is the best way to say it. We're starting to see a lot of people show up who, I want to become a coach. I want to learn how to do this. I need to start building a business online, right? All these things because I can't do anything else. So I'm going to try and coach. So we're going to start seeing more and more coaches come into the world, right? And start birthing this new movement of people doing this coaching online and really every business. But I'm speaking to coaches right here because I know a lot of you have been talking about being very concerned about oversaturation. Right? How are we possibly going to compete if you have, this number of coaches were here in 2019, and all of a sudden now we got like way more coaches up here in the next year. How am I going to stand out? How am I going to compete against this? How am I possibly going to, when I was struggling anyway, right? I barely was getting by anyway, and now you've added all these new people into the mix, and all these new people are throwing marketing out there, and they're all watching these trainings, and they're all listening to the podcasts, and they're all like trying to figure out how to do this stuff. How do you stand out? Right? How do you compete? How do you do this? So I want to talk to you about how to overcome some of the obstacles that you're facing. First of all, understand, and I posted this a couple days ago, but yes, there are more people in the coaching world, in the coaching industry right now, but guess what? The world has a lot more problems now than it did back in the beginning of this year too, right? There's a lot more things that we're dealing with. So it makes room for more coaches to be there, right? You can't possibly serve everybody, so get that out of your mind. And more people serving is not a bad thing. Okay, they may be competition to you in one way or another, but overall, your ideal client can be close to, but not exactly the same as another coach. All right, so somebody who's working in the same niche as you, working in the same field and community as you, and serving those same people might be solving a problem different, or solving a different way of solving it, going after a different demographic, going after a different result, right? People who are trying to build an online business may not be the same people who are trying to become, like, online entrepreneurs, in the sense of, like, I want to not just build a business online, but I actually want to build a brand and have people work under me. I want to actually take the existing business I have and I want to move it online. I want to take my current job, and I know I'm not going to be able to have it anymore, so I want to start building my own company for myself and just start making enough money to supplement, right? There's all these different scenarios that people are thinking in their heads. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why are people trying to lose weight? Why are people trying to get healthy? They might have been trying to lose weight because they want to look better or feel better, have more energy. Now they might be trying to lose weight because they're realizing that there's negative connotations about being overweight or diabetic in the midst of this coronavirus. So, like, how do I get better shape? How do I start feeding myself right? How do I start taking care of my body better so I'm more prepared, right? So the dynamic is changing, and more people flooding into this coaching industry doesn't mean there's less clients for you. It just means that you've got to be more creative, and it means you've got to be more specific about who you're targeting. Okay? So if it wasn't working before, ramping it up isn't going to help you. All right, it's just not going to work. If it didn't work in 2019, it's definitely not going to work now. So you have to make a clear message and communicate what it is you're solving, who it is you're helping, what the result is, and do it so crystal clear and effective. And the only way to know is to start going out and start just delivering your message. Start asking the questions to people who, what is it you need? What is it that you finding out that what your audience is actually looking for. What are the problems they're solving? What are the problems that you're actually able to solve for them? You can't just guess at this stuff. You cannot go out and just assume people want something if you haven't tested it, right? Now is the time to go out and really figure out specifically how you can set yourself apart and how you serve people differently than the other people who are in the coaching community around you, okay? So it's not that there's a problem like, oh my gosh, too many coaches, roadblock, put my hands up, gotta stop, I quit. Okay, you cannot go that direction. It's not that at all. It's now, okay, we got a lot more coaches in the world. Look at all these people. Look what they're doing. First of all, if you've been coaching for a while and somebody else is coming in brand new, you already have somewhat of an advantage, right? So you've already got some clientele possibly. You've already got some people who understand and know what you're doing, and you've already tried some stuff, and maybe you've bought some trainings and you've spent a little bit of time and money, so you've already invested in this, right? So you already have a little bit of an upper hand. So don't play this as a victim. Play this as what skills, what things do you have right now that already set you above and apart from everybody else, right? Lean into that first, and then figure out how from there, like, don't settle on that. Like, figure that, start there, and go, okay, how do I take that and project it and project myself forward from there, okay? Your job is not to try and belittle or crush or insult or take down or put down anybody who's trying to become a coach. All right, at some point you decided I'm going to be a coach, and now you're seeing a lot of people take that and make that decision. It's not your job to go into them and say, oh, well, now you're just doing it because of COVID. All right, well, they're doing it for some reason. All right, it doesn't mean that they're out to try and get you or they're going to take away all your clients. It's not what that means at all. It just means that they're looking for an answer, and coaching is something that's calling them and saying, hey, this might be the answer for me. Okay, so don't go online and try and start bashing people who are just brand new coaches because of this. That's not the point. The point is your business, your story, your message, and your ideal clients. That's what you should be focused on. What is the problem? What is the result? What's the fastest way to get them there? And how do I get my message to people that need to hear my message, that are willing to pay, that have the money to pay, and are interested in getting that result? That's really what it boils down to. Don't let yourself get distracted with all the naysayers and all the people telling you that there's too much stuff going on and too many other coaches flooding the market and all that stuff. That's just a bunch of crap. Okay, don't worry about that. Worry about what it is you can provide and how you can set yourself apart, and suddenly everything else will clear out. If that's all you're focusing on, everything else will clear out, and you won't worry about everybody coming into the field because, look, you've already crafted out your space, right? If you need help with this, if you have any questions, you want some answers for this, reach out to me, okay? Just go to williamwinterton.com. You can actually go there, or you can actually just email me or message me. Just go to Facebook, find me there, or go to william@marketdisruptors.com and just message me. Send me an email. I'd love to hear where you're at. I'd love to help you through this. There's not any reason to go through and struggle and try and like wrestle with all this stuff and get lost and feel like you're just, spiraling downhill. There's no reason for that. Okay, there's way too much out there to help you and too much to support you to let you just fall off and be like, this doesn't work. Okay, I happen to know for a fact that coaching is not only a very lucrative business, but it's a very successful business for people who actually jump into it and serve, constantly going out and serving their clients and getting their message out to the right people. There's so many people out there who needs your help. So many who need your help. So go out, start messaging, start marketing, and serving them. But reach out to me if you have any questions. I'd love to help you out. Stay focused, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you next time. Hey, what's going on? So thank you so much for checking out the podcast. Listen, if you would do me a big favor, if you've enjoyed today's shows and any of the previous shows, go to iTunes and go ahead and click on subscribe. Second of all, I want you to leave me some love. It's not too much to ask. 5 stars would be awesome. Positive review. And stay safe and healthy out there. I'll see you on the next episode.